Are you ready?
The station leading the way with exclusive interviews,
Follow the leader.
stimulating conversation, and intellectual discourse that empowers, enlightens, and informs.
Follow the leader.
Follow the leader at KBLA 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
Keep following the leader.
Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader.
I'm Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. If your relationship is in trouble, I'm the dude to call. Has your soulmate become your cellmate? Does black love still exist? What are your bedroom turnoffs? Fantasies and fetishes. Financial infidelity. I'm dating a fat person. Are they worth the wait? Trust me, this gonna be crazy.
How about the heavy stuff?
The child wasn't his, and he still had to pay child support.
It's a very heated topic.
How was that right?
Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I just have so many questions I want to ask you.
I just like to kiss it. Is there something wrong with that?
Damn.
He told me he had a vasectomy. I'm pregnant.
Betrayal has been committed.
Hit you with the bad pipes routine.
How does he maintain his humposity?
He likes it when it pinches my neck.
Why can't you open up, brother?
I'm a karate man. Karate man rules on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses.
Yeah.
How do you write women so well?
Zoe Williams,
Reason and accountability.
the voice of reason.
I'm Dr. Orion Taraban, and this is PsycHacks, Better Living Through Psychology. And the topic of today's short talk is what men don't understand about female selection. So, thanks to the internet, there has been an explosion of awareness on this topic in recent years. And this has afforded the current generation a uniquely privileged position to understand female mating and dating behavior more clearly and precisely than ever before. The quantity and quality of information available on the subject just weren't available to men even 10 years ago. And while some of this information can be a bitter pill to swallow, I hold that it is ultimately of benefit to both men and women that it is now more widely known. One of the most important concepts in this cache of information is hypergamy, the tendency to mate and date up, to choose men who, for example, are taller, stronger, richer, and higher status. Hypergamy influences almost every aspect of female sexual selection, and it has a number of significant downstream consequences, so it's really, really important to understand this concept. Unfortunately, there are two common ways in which the concept is misunderstood by men, and I want to address these in today's talk. So let's get to it. The two misunderstandings roughly correspond to the two general reactions men seem to have in response to learning about the reality of hypergamy. The first is the most prevalent, as it unfortunately corresponds to the more common reaction of men. Basically, when a lot of men, especially young men, learn about women's sexual selection criteria, they get really discouraged. They hear that women are only interested in the top 10% of men. They consider, well, they weren't in the top 10% of men in high school or in college or in young adulthood. And they inappropriately conclude, A, that they could never enter into those upper echelons, or B, that even if they could, the payoff wouldn't be worth the time and effort required, i.e., the juice isn't worth the squeeze. They look at themselves, think, well, I don't have anything a woman is really going to want, and conclude, why bother? And on some level, it's like, fair enough. Dating is not symmetrical. Men initiate the vast majority of interactions, so men disproportionately experience more rejection than women do on the front end. And women terminate the vast majority of relationships, so men disproportionately experience more rejection than women do on the back end. And this rejection can be painful on a number of different dimensions. These men may be rationally concluding that a high-risk, low-reward endeavor doesn't make sense for them. If we were talking about investing their money, we would call this decision prudent, and no one would have a problem with it. On the other hand, lots of people seem to have a problem with the same decision being made about women. These men need to grow up, man up, stop sniveling, and frankly, fall in line. This is hardly fair and would likely make a good topic for a future video. However, my point here is that these men misunderstand the payoff of hypergamy. After all the time and effort expended to align with the criteria of hypergamy, The payoff is not that a woman has ultimately provided security and material resources, or even that a man is offered sex and a relationship. The payoff is the growth and prosperity that redound to the man as a result. What does this mean? Well, a top 10% man can only indirectly benefit a woman, and then only if she can acquire and maintain access to the man. However, a top 10% man directly benefits himself. He directly benefits from being stronger and wealthier and higher status. These things are primarily good for him and at best only secondarily good for others. Even if much of his wealth and status are stripped from him by a divorce or a breakup, which can certainly happen in today's society, he remains the source of that value. And he became the source of that value in the transformational process of becoming a top 10% man. So this is the first misunderstanding about hypergamy, that it primarily benefits women. It doesn't. It primarily benefits men and can only indirectly benefit women, namely if a man chooses to bestow the benefit upon her. Now, before I'm going any further, if you're liking what you're hearing, please consider sending this episode to someone who might benefit from this message.
Fire! I had to play that because there probably were some women out there that was thinking I was hating, and we played a clip that supports your argument if you believe in the hypergamous route of selecting high value men. Isn't that hypergamy? When what's my man Kevin Samuels said it years before he died, a high value man, he's really talking about hypergamy. Because if you talk to women today, it's part of pop culture now. Women don't want a low-value man, right? Because spirituality is so nebulous. See, just because terms are pervasive, it doesn't mean that understanding of those terms are equally pervasive. Everybody's talking about narcissism, but most people have no idea of what it is. Everyone has narcissistic tendencies, but not everyone can be clinically diagnosed as having NPD, narcissistic personality disorder. And many people don't know the difference between the two, right? So, high value man might mean successful man, but he could still be abusive to himself and others, right? Successful man has millions of dollars, has access to millions of dollars, has resources, homes, cars, everything, but hasn't won one single internal battle. Now, the same could be applied to women. She could be the finest thing. She could be fine as frog hair on a baby toad. A toad is different than a frog, by the way. She could be fine as frog hair. She could have little back dimples. She could have that hourglass shape. Oh, my Lord. She could be fire and water, fire and ice in the bedroom. But if she hasn't healed or hasn't started the healing process, hasn't won any internal battles, she's just going to bring chaos into your life. Right? She's going to bring that chaos to mirror the chaos that's already there. Thus, the mirror of relationship. I want to get to my caller real quick. JW from Los Angeles is on the line. JW, what are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Hey, brother, I'm surprised you came to me right now. I stepped on some portions to chill out. But anyway, yeah, I always catch your show once you're already in progress, and I have to try to put together the subject matter. But, yeah, what I wanted to bring to the your listeners' perspective and is the old school how this originated, at least from my point of view, being a 68-year-old person. Back in high school, I can recall talking to two different categories of men. One might be the hardcore guy thinking he's like pimping or whatever, player or whatever. And he said, "Yeah, man, I got this female, I'm gonna use the term called a prize." That's what Nika Marie, dope discussing. She used that term prize, referring to that woman. She considered herself as a prize. And he would say, "Yeah, man, I called her, man, I got that, blah blah blah." And I would say, "Hey, bro, no, you ain't hardcore. You ain't this and that. That's what you think you are, because I don't care if you put gas in your own car and took her to the movies and paid for the ticket for you and her and bought the popcorn. You paid for the prize." And, set up another word. And then the other category would be maybe the simps or the wimps or the nerds or whatever term you may want to use. They may have particular tools such as, they're middle class and they got nice clothes and they have a car and this and the other, and they consider that a tool as of attracting that prize. And I said, "No, brother, the point is that the particular females that they're going after, maybe let's put them in the category of gold diggers or other categories, and you can just use whatever categories you want to come up with that associated with that." The point is, society has groomed or conditioned us from that age up to this point. And it's a sad thing because, in terms of character and principle and all that, that's the value. And with Candace Daniels and all that, and hypertrophy and so on and so forth, material worth or wealth or things that society has termed as what is real value, but neglecting what the real tangible value or spiritual value or all the above is, having that character, principles, ethics, morals, and all the above. And that's something that has been devalued. But, the sugar daddy and sugar baby type of aspect is just what's prevalent now in society, and it's sad. And that's my point.
Well, brother, I appreciate you calling in, and thank you for your thoughts on tonight's topic. Guess what you just did, my friend?
Yeah, boss off something in the house.
There you go, man. JW is always welcome to call in. He brought South Central in the building. Let me just say, spending money on your woman ain't nothing wrong with that. Okay? Taking care of her, ain't nothing wrong with that. That's a good thing. If you got it, do it. Right? If you've worked hard and you got a beautiful woman, why not? Right? I think it becomes problematic for me. Don't demand it. Don't make it a prerequisite in order to be with you. Because to me, you send a message that you're for sale. Do you understand? Like, you got to do it. You got to. No, I don't have to do anything. Right? If you are connected to the truth of yourself, there's something in you that should be able to see something in me that is of a higher quality. If my quality comes from my Audi, if my quality comes from, where I live, if my quality comes from the relationships I have, nah, we good. We good. You telling me what you're here for. If you move like a courtesan, I'm going to see that in the same light as I see a covert narcissist. You're performing to make headway with me. I'm not with any of that. Please understand, ladies. I want you to hear something. Please understand. Every man's character is a work in progress. That quality you like, he's a good dad, or he's a, he's a honest businessman. He's a disciplined person. Let me tell you again, every good quality in every man is under construction. And I'm going to tell you the same. Every bad quality in every man is under construction. And guess what else, sister? This applies to you too. If you got to sell your nurturing, if you got to sell your understanding, your softness, your femininity, do you know you're your own pimp? I know people don't want to hear it tonight. I'm hitting nerves. That's why people scared to call in. I know what kind of topic this is. 99% of us are guilty of it. But I'm going to tell you, this is why maybe all of the conversations about self-awareness should trigger you now. Because the more self-aware you are, the more self-wise you become. And when there is a self-wisdom, there will be a reluctance to sell oneself. Do you understand? A sugar baby is selling herself to a sugar daddy, and a sugar daddy is conversely doing the same. Because under his own character, he wasn't able to attract the type of woman he wanted. So he needed his career to do it. He needed his bank account to do it. They say wisdom is better than gold. The ethical considerations surrounding sugaring are complex and multifaceted. From a moral standpoint, teachings from the great Jesus Christ and the Buddha emphasize compassion, non-attachment, and the inherent value of all individuals. Sugaring, when viewed through this lens, raises questions about the commodification of human relationships and the potential dehumanization of those involved. The karmic implications are suggested by Krishna. They further complicate the matter. When you put karma into it, you use this person as a relational ATM. Let's see how that works out in the end. Oh my goodness. When we come forward, the voice of reason shall continue frying your faces.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580. Tabitha Smiley's new book, The Covenant with Black America, 20 years later, is now on sale everywhere. This classic text shot to #1 on the New York Times bestsellers list almost 2 decades ago. If you have the original book, you will surely want to get this 20th anniversary edition with powerful new contributions from today's leading voices. This 20th anniversary edition presents a compelling blend of historical insights and contemporary urgency in this critical and unprecedented election year. Get your copy of The Covenant with Black America 20 years later today. KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA reminds you that when we fight, we win, and we don't black down. LA Community Action Network, or LA CAN, was formed in 1999 when 25 residents of downtown LA came together and acknowledged the problems that existed in their community and made a commitment to do something about those problems, to stand together, organize, and become a force in the community that demands change. Civil rights and preventing the criminalization of poverty are their core projects. In addition, they take on women's rights, the human right to housing, and healthy food access. LA CAN also has projects focused on economic development, civic participation, voter engagement, and community media. While downtown LA remains their home base, with a particular emphasis on the Skid Row community, in 2007, they expanded their housing and healthy food access work into South Central Los Angeles. LA Can believes that power for low-income people and people of color is achieved through a large, active, and well-informed member base that utilizes a multitude of methods to advance their messages and goals. If you'd like to join the Los Angeles Community Action Network and organize people to fight back against oppression, please visit cangress.org. That's cangress.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
But it was actually our old detergent. So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle.
Tide Free and Gentle has no dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on her skin.
If it's gotta be clean, it's gotta be Tide Free and Gentle. This back-to-school season, Tide and Downy are giving back with $1.5 million in scholarships. Enter to win. No purchase necessary. US/DC 17+. End September 30th. Rules. Tide.com/scholarship/official rules.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
You won't, I bet your be on the floor. Big carbon here like Mayweather. Tula come through and blow up. Got millions out there rap. They hate her, but they stole the flow. Got back in after back in coming. I stole the show. Don't run up on that. She a head case. All she do is shoot. I signed my deal up on the PJ and hopped out a parachute. I'm geeked on next week. About no more features. I might just stir at you. I'm geeked on next week. About no more features. I might embarrass you. Yeah, glow. Stomp a little with some shell toes. Yeah, glow. Slapping rap and making bail. Yeah, glow. Two-tone Cartier match the nails. Yeah, glow. No competition, these stale. Yeah, glow. Curbing, no curbing, my layers. Yeah, glow. Say they get money, but I can't tell. Yeah, glow. Keep running circles around these snail. Yeah, glow. And my bumping up in the jail. On the big glow, where you been at? Mine, everywhere I'm working hard. Maybach and G-Wagon truck, got M&M's in my garage.
I wrote a book called The Art of Seduction. The goal is to make you out there a master seducer in life and to help you get rid of your anti-seductive tendencies. Very important. The following is a compilation of all those seductive interviews I've done over the years in which I've discussed the many ideas in this book. So I hope you enjoy it. So the first thing we have to agree on here is you want the ability to influence people. You want the ability to persuade them, to be able to move them to some degree in your direction, to get them interested in your ideas, and to be honest with yourself that this is something that you want. The second thing you have to be aware of is that you're usually going at it from the wrong end. You're thinking first and foremost.
It just upsets me. This is manipulation. It upsets me. Listen, this is what I'm saying, man. We are a society of users. All of us. Your spirit can't do the talking for you. I did a show. We're going to play it during, Memorial Day weekend. I did a show called Relationship Darshan. And we talked about the Sanskrit term darshan, being able to see the divine in someone else. And we talked about the term namaste, the divine in me bows to the divine in you. Listen, we are so far away from that kind of sighting in relationships. This is why we have some of the dumbest conversations about relationships. Right? I mean, the subject matter is dumb and it's imbalanced for the most part. Right? Well, that's why there's so many low-value men. Wait a minute. You mean there is a vacuum pocket of a multitude of high-value women? No. We're going to look at it on the bell curve. The majority of everybody is in the center of the bell. And the high-end people are on one far end of the bell, and the low, very low, bottom-end people are on the other side of the bell. And guess what? In the middle, pretty much the average people that are works in progress trying to figure it out. And I would even go higher and say, in the center of the bell, most people are broken, corrupted, wounded, damaged, works in progress, hurtful, hurting, and hurtful. I say on that far end, some people are not redeemable. But all the people in the middle of the bell, in the center of the bell, yes, with all that hurt, with all that pain, with all that fear, with all of that, they're still redeemable. But when we're looking and sizing people up based on what they can give us, right? Both the takers and the givers. You cannot separate the taker from the giver. The giver is giving because the giver is lacking. What? Oh, absolutely. Do you know how many people who are empty and scared and frightened and broken are giving to try to get something back? It's not a Good Samaritan type giving, a selfless giving. That giving, whatever they gave you, is their self is wrapped in the gift. The self is the wrapping paper. And then the taker, because they're empty, I can put this in me. And because they gave me this, that means something. When you start healing, you start to realize that there is no space for the infinite. What? Yeah, there's no space to put something else. You're infinite. You have everything. You are everything. You're one with everything. You're in need of nothing. Just like in the Quran, when Allah is saying, right? Allahu as-Samad. Allah is the needless. When you tap into your higher consciousness, you have this sense of needlessness. I don't need your approval. I don't need your gifts. I don't need your affection. You start to understand, I am affectionate. I am forgiveness. I am approval. I am acceptance. Not I need any of those things. Do you understand? But because we live in such a low vibrational society, we are in desperate need of all of those things from other people. And that's the worst place to get it. When we come forward, I promise you, I'm going to Dallas, Texas. Let's talk about it.
Got on new, it look like I got renovated. I'm cocky, when I was just humble, they didn't appreciate it. Young, wealthy, and ratchet, I'm the hood motivation. On top of the world now, they tried to underestimate me. Get 'em, go. Them fraudulent, you know you the truth. Get 'em, go. Stop overthinking, these can't fuck with you. Get 'em, go. Standing on business in these Chanel shoes. Before I let her play with me, I'll go eat some jail food on gang. Stomp a little with some shell toes. Yeah, glow. Slapping rappers and making bail. Yeah, glow. Two-tone cardio.
He's on fire tonight. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. Vice President Kamala Harris and Minnesota Governor Tim Walz are joining CNN for their first joint interview. The pair will be interviewed by CNN's chief political correspondent and anchor Dana Bash in an interview to air at 9 p.m. Eastern. The interview marks the first time Harris has sat down with a journalist for an in-depth talk since President Biden ended his bid for re-election. 2 Long Island, New York school districts are under investigation by the Department of Education for possible discrimination. Newsday reports the feds have targeted Comac and Belmore Merrick Central high school districts. Both are now being investigated by the DOE's Office for Civil Rights. The Comac case involves anti-Semitic and anti-black graffiti the district confirms was found in a boys' bathroom at the high school in November 2023. The district defends its actions since the incident. It's not clear why Belmore Merrick was listed. No final decision on either case has been made, and it's not clear when those decisions will be made. That's the latest. I'm Amber Payton on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
Joe Buck and John Smoltz welcoming you back to the City Center Convenience Mart. Uh-oh. She's looking at the cigarettes, but she just grabs the gum off the counter. Stand Up to Cancer and Rally want you to reduce your risk for cancer. Go to takeahealthystand.org.
Follow the leader.
KBLA Talk 1580.
Follow the leader.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram at KBLA 1580.
Follow the leader.
Are you ready?
The station leading the way with exclusive interviews,
Follow the leader.
stimulating conversation, and intellectual discourse that empowers, enlightens, and informs.
Follow the leader.
Follow the leader at KBLA 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
Keep following the leader.
Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader.
If we're the ones disproportionately impacted by these climate catastrophes,
Why should we be silent?
turning up the volume all year long on the climate conversation for KBLA Talk 1580.
We asked seniors how to prevent Medicare scams.
My best advice, if you get a phone call, do not talk to the person. These people are well trained. Don't talk to them.
They don't know me. They're just trying to scam me.
Don't be fooled. Hang up. Just hang up.
Never give out your Medicare number.
They're going to get your number to put in a false claim.
If I get a call from someone, I don't pick up the phone. And should I pick up the phone and they ask for information, then I hang up.
How do you detect Medicare fraud?
Just like I check my credit card statements, I check my Medicare statements monthly.
Scammers can get a hold of your number, order medical devices through your account, and you're not even going to know about it if you don't look at your statement.
Check your statement every month. If you get your statement and you see something that you know you did not have done, you report it.
Call your senior Medicare Patrol.
To report Medicare fraud, call the Senior Medicare Patrol at 855-613-7080.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 believes in community empowerment through the arts. Tia Chucha Central Cultural is on a mission to transform community in the Northeast San Fernando Valley and beyond through ancestral knowledge, the arts, literacy, and creative engagement. The Northeast San Fernando Valley has a population of about 500,000, the size of the city of Oakland, yet it has no bookstores, art galleries, or full-fledged cultural spaces until Tia Chucha's opened its doors in 2001. Founded by renowned poet and activist Luis Rodriguez, Tia Chucha's Cultural Center provides a year-round free or low-cost arts and literacy bilingual intergenerational programming in mural painting, music, dance, writing, visual arts, healing art sessions, and healing talking circles. Activities also include Mexica, Aztec dance, indigenous cosmology, philosophy, and 2 weekly open mic nights, one in Spanish, the other in English. In addition, they host author readings, film screenings, and art exhibits. To express yourself, heal yourself, attend an event, or volunteer, please visit www.tiachucha.org. That's TIACHUCHA.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the 3rd time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Legal Aid Foundation of Los Angeles is a nonprofit law firm that protects and advances the rights of the most underserved, leveling the playing field and ensuring that everyone can have access to the justice system. Every year, LAFLA provides free, high-quality legal services to more than 100,000 people living in poverty across greater Los Angeles. Their unique combination of neighborhood offices, self-help centers at courthouses, centers and domestic violence clinics puts Legal Aid Foundation of Los Angeles on the front lines in vulnerable communities and at the forefront of change. LAFLA's expert team of attorneys, paralegals, and support staff works to provide direct representation, offer counsel and advice, provide referrals, and educate the community about their legal rights through workshops and seminars. With locations all over LA, you can access their services or volunteer to help no matter where you live. And if you have an urgent issue, call 213-235-0060. That's 213-235-0060. To get legal help, make a donation, or volunteer, visit lafla.org. lafla.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You're listening to the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
Glorilla. Hey. It's 7 p.m. Friday. It's 95 degrees. I ain't got no, and no nigga ain't got me. Let's go. I'm about to show my these love freak. How the is that your man? If he right here with me, turned up with my, turned up with my, turned up in my shows, yeah, cause I got that blicky. 60,000 fans can't see me do my dance. Got 1,000,001 haters, and they y'all can kiss my. Turned up with my, turned up with my, turned up in my shows, yeah, cause I'm right here with me. Off a fifth of hand, getting up with my twin. Got a backwood full of sock and a bankroll full of beans. All that Twitter typing, see me and ain't do nothing. Crop top with some biker shorts, I'm showing off my moose nut. I'm feeling good today. I'm outside with your bait. Got a brown skin with dreads and a black with waves. He gon' drop that net. He love the way I sit. Fake nails pressed, so high, damn the red. I keep fresh. He's shirt on wet. Who won't smoke? Say what? Get that off your chest. Turned up with my, turned up with my. Turned up in my shows, yeah, cause I got that blicky. 60,000 fans can't see me do my dance. Got 1,000,001 haters, and they y'all can kiss my. It's 7 p.m. Friday, it's 95 degrees. I ain't got no, and no ain't got me. Let's go. I'm about to show my these love freak. How the is that your man? If he right here with me, Friday night, hot as hell, and you know the out. Man and petty, fresh set, and I got my toes out. I'm rocking off-white, hey, on the off night. These with me pretty, and they y'all can fight, yeah. You mean 40 inches, 6'13"?
Ladies and gentlemen, I know y'all not used to this kind of playlist, but this is the music that's out here right now. You're listening to the Voice of Reason live on KBLA Talk 1580. And we played that a little extended piece of that because Andy is trying to get us our video. Andy, go ahead.
But I do want you to speak, Ayanla, to how women need to, position ourselves so that we can be in our divinity, so we can have our crowns right, how we can create and not build. When some of us, quite frankly, feel that the men that are available to us, and I'm talking about across the color spectrum, across the age spectrum, trust me, I've done them all, they are not positioned to protect nor provide because of some of the statistics we just talked about. They're not earning the incomes. They're not having the resources, and some of them are not even showing up in the leadership.
Would you date a bus driver? Would you date
if he owns the bus? If he owns it, if he owns the bus,
see, that's a problem. That's a problem. That's a problem. Okay. Because the standards and requisites, and I'm not talking about him laying on his sofa playing video games all day. I'm not talking about that. But the standards and the criteria that we use to measure men is off for who we are as women and who they are in this society. I would date a bus driver if he loved driving the bus. If he was a man of integrity, if he was.
Listen to what she's defining. Iyanla says, if he loves what he does. So love is part of her definition of what makes a man attractive. You hear people saying today, love ain't enough. Love is a verb. Love is based on a set of actions. I keep telling you, where there is unhealed wounds, there will be a demand, right? Just like a narcissist, there's a supply. This wound needs a supply of materials, something, attention, acknowledgement, something, money. It needs something. The wound is insatiable. It's hunger. Man, I can't wait until, I think in the first couple of weeks of September, we're going to have the sit down of the century. Dr. Cornel West is going to be on The Voice of Reason. Tavis Smiley has already put it down. Me and Dr. West are going to sit down and we're going to talk about, because Dr. West is a philosopher. He's also a Gemini like me. We're going to talk about what it means to be in a relationship with humanity. How to be in a relationship with a human being. We're dealing with how to be in a relationship with things. Things and fear right now. That's why I'm playing the ratchet music. Things and fear. That is what the majority of our relationships are constituted of. Ebony K, brilliant, beautiful sister. Nobody can say she is not intelligent. But nobody points out the contradiction. You can't wear the crown of spirituality and yet be worried about your social position. I know we want to find this nexus, right? I know we want to find the crossroads where, this is where prosperity preachers came up so big. Because, no, God don't want you broke. God wants you wealthy. First off, the flaw in the thinking is to think you know what God thinks. If you haven't reached self-realization, moksha, nirvana, self-actualization, you don't get to tell me what God thinks. Because the same book tells us we can't comprehend God. God moves in mysterious ways. So which one is it? So if you're saying in one breath, oh, my crown and spiritual and my black girl magic, but at the same time, we can't miss this Hulu bill. The HBO Max bill. The Netflix. We got to have all the Disney. We got to have the bundles. We got the insurance, the car notes. Do you see? One is diametrically opposed to the other. Spirituality is freedom. Social standing is a type of bondage that can come and go. Do you understand? You can gain social liquidity and social mobility. You can gain it, but you can also lose it. Some of the biggest ballers have been some of the biggest fallers. So if he owned a bus station, wow. Okay, so let's flip it the other way. What if he's one of our truck driver brothers? Truck drivers do really good, make millions of dollars, can make millions of dollars, and they own their truck. Would you marry a truck driver? Do you see this transactional? How are you going to be transactional and you want a spiritual outcome? You can't be transactional with God because God ain't on your time. God show up when God is ready to show up for you, within you. But that's about you doing work on you. When we come forward, I promise I'm going to the phone lines.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
To help combat climate change, LADWP is helping neighborhoods have better access to electric vehicles by awarding nearly $130 million in EV rebates to customers just like you. From big savings on used EVs to building new charging plazas, LADWP is charging ahead to help all Angelenos experience the benefits of EVs. Get rebates of up to $4,000 for a used EV and $1,750 for a charger. Learn more at ladwp.com/EV. That's ladwp.com/EV.
They say the hardest part of getting something done is getting started. Well, We did that 30 years ago, when California first took on the tobacco industry. Now, smoking is down 60%, lung cancer 42%. A couple of our cities have already ended tobacco sales. A California without big tobacco isn't just possible, it's already happening. See our progress at undo.org.
Hey, LA residents, it's planting season and the perfect time to get shade trees growing around your home. LADWP and City Plants are giving every resident up to 7 free trees. That's right, 7 free trees delivered right to your door. Trees are great for the environment, help improve air quality, and can help you save on your bill when you use less air conditioning to stay cool indoors. Learn more at ladwp.com/free trees. That's ladwp.com/free trees. With reported hate crimes rising in recent years, California has responded through outreach efforts across state government and in collaboration with community-based organizations for the launch of CA versus Hate. This non-emergency multilingual hate crime and incident reporting hotline provides an anonymous reporting option for victims and witnesses of hate acts reported in 15 different languages through the online portal and in over 200 languages when calling the hotline. Report anonymously by calling 833-866-4283 Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. or online at any time at cavshate.org.
This is the story of the one. As a facility technician installing a new welding station, he knows getting the ventilation right is critical for safety. That's why when questions arise, there's Grainger. Grainger offers detailed technical product information online at his fingertips, so it's easy to find what he needs. Because when it comes to safety, having answers means he and his people can breathe a little easier. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You've got a Pepto predicament, Beach Bum.
Hey, we're heading down to the beach. You coming?
Yeah, Dad. You coming?
I had a little too much to eat at the resort buffet. I need a minute. Oh, you overdid it. And now your beach vacation is giving you belly waves. Undo it with Pepto.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Pepto Chewables provide fast 5-symptom relief so you can get back to making memories.
Let's go, Dad!
When you overdo it, undo it with Pepto. Use as directed, keep out of reach of children.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey, Daddy, when you gonna stop playing? Bad chick, I could be a fantasy. I could tell you got big energy. It ain't too many of them that can handle me. But I might let you try it off the Hennessy. Make them sing to this thing like a melody. And if your girl ain't right, I got the remedy. It ain't too many of them that can handle me. Bad chick, I could be a fantasy. Tell me how you want it. 3, 2, 1, and I'm on it. Feel good, don't it? Good chick, you in a bunny.
The coquette. If you're convinced that the way to seduce another person is by giving them as much pleasure as fast as possible, you won't get far. Logically, this makes sense, but it doesn't work. Coquettes understand that pleasure is of no value if we experience it all the time. Pain is just as important because it gives us a reason to value pleasure and happiness. Coquettes keep the victim in suspense. They make the other person go through both positive and negative emotions. The victim might be in pain, but they won't leave because pleasure might just be around the corner. Coquettes are also attractive because they are a challenge. We want to conquer them, but they hold the cards. They are independent, and we will have to work extra hard if we want to make them fall in love with us. The strategy of the coquette is never to offer total satisfaction. Imitate the alternating heat and coolness of the coquette and you will keep the seduced at your heels. Stop showering your victim with love and attention. If your love was given to the other person so quickly and easily, it will be perceived as cheap love.
Oh
and
my
nobody
God,
is
I
interested
need
in
you
that.
guys to look up The Coquette. This is in the Art of Seduction book by Robert Greene. I want you guys to look that up. Heavy stuff. A lot of people don't know. Game be getting run on y'all, and y'all just be confused. And men and women can play the role of the coquette. Let's get these callers in here. Who's been on the longest? Reverend L, Dallas, Texas. Get in here.
What's up, Brother Zoe?
Man, what are your thoughts, man? We got to run through these calls. We got 10 minutes. Let's get it.
Okay, man. I'm going to keep it short and sweet. I despise a sugar daddy or a sugar baby. I despise them because what they do is they poison the ecosystem. They give the impression as if they've done the work to get the person that they're with, and they don't. They put up all these facades and I did this and I did that, but they didn't. They took the shortcut route, and when they took the shortcut route, the appearance is optics. The optics look good. They got a bad chick on their arm, or I got a high value man or whatnot. But they took the shortcuts to get there, and I just don't approve of that, man, because it messes up the ecosystem. Because when you have a basic, I won't say basic, when you have a person that's a hardworking person, good values, they handle their business. They might not make $100,000 a year, but they're decent human beings. And then you have somebody who doesn't even know how to be on that level, and they look down on that type of person because that person isn't willing to come out of their pocket and put on fakes and frauds for them. Then they devalue them. It's like a person going to the gym and getting the workout, and you see the progression of them getting their body straight. These people got the BBL, they stepped out, they lied and said they went to the gym to get their body, and they didn't. That's the same thing that's going on in this little dating pool, the same thing that's going on in these fake marriages. It's the whole facade. They're taking the shortcuts, and that's why they don't last.
Man, I appreciate the call. You brought Dallas, Texas in the building. I would only add one other thing, though. Men, hey, man, there's men older than me and there's men younger than me dyeing their beard. Don't dye your beard. It's man makeup. Just be yourself. You want to call out the women with the BBL, call out the man with the painted face. Right? Just let it. My uncle, I'm talking about my uncle right now. My uncle is 78 years old. Mustache, black as this chair. I said, Unc, I'm fully gray, and I'm 25, 30 years younger than you. Knock it off, Unc. So, again, sometimes, man, it's about the image we're more caught up in, man. We're caught up in the image. Just be real. That's why relationships be so fake. And I struggled with fakeness before. I'm sure somebody else has too. Let's get Attila from Houston, Texas in here right now. Let's go. Attila, what are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Hi, Uncle Zoe. Okay, real quick. I'm just going to say this. I think sugar baby culture is the result of intellectualizing relational safety and then just adding in the traditional gender roles. So that's why it looks so weird. We rationalize why it is we need to feel safe, sprinkle in a little bit of the gender roles and the social norms, and then you have sugar baby culture.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Crazy. Attila from Houston, Texas. You already know what it is. We appreciate you. Thank you for bringing your city in the building. And then my brother, Hustle from Miami, Florida. Hustle, what are your thoughts on tonight's topic? He already laughing. Here we go.
Look, so I did see a sugar baby situation as I was going through downtown, and it made me consider it. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. The sister was looking, because it's almost like when you go into a store and you're looking at the top shelf, and if you're getting what you're buying, and the store's making a profit, listen, man, let people live their life, man. That's how I'm looking at it now, because we can't change it.
Let me hit you with this. Let me hit you with this, because it just, what you said just struck some. If women keep playing these kind of games, do you think it will retard men's spiritual development? Because in a lot of ways, men will just think, all I got to do is get bread and I can buy her. Because isn't that how it is for a lot of men? Like, if I got the bread, you're going to do what I say. If I got the bread, I got the control. So if women start rejecting you just having bread, like you can't just have bread, right? There has to be some spiritual maturity, and spiritual maturity is not dogmatic articulation. It's not recitation of biblical or scriptural words. It's actual embodiment of certain levels of self-mastery. If they start doing that, that's gonna shorten their pool a little bit, but it's also going to raise the quality from which they choose from, correct? Am I right or wrong on that?
Listen, you correct. However, water seeks its own level.
Ooh.
You understand?
Talk to me.
The same way my healing brought me through to being able to step away from an avoidance sister that I brought up a while back. Right. But we both walked away smiling because I'm in a place where I'm able to stay neutral. And that shows my growth. So like I said, man, you know, people going to find, what'd you say, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear?
When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. And a lot of people take that to mean something positive. Let me give you some layers to that, right? When you have a student who isn't ready for the lesson, right, what takes the place of the teacher?
Pain?
Yep, you can say pain, but it is a lesson you can't opt out of. Do you see? And sometimes it's a punitive lesson. The universe has a way of thumping you upside your spirit that'll make you come back to your senses. So again, we have a certain level of agency where we say, you know what, I'm not ready to hear this. I'm not ready to deal with this. And then the universe will up-level your experience. Does that make sense?
Equilibrium. I feel you, bro.
Hustle, guess what you just did, brother?
Dade County, man.
Dade County in the house. We appreciate all of the callers tonight. And again, from all over the country. Listen, we start the conversations. It's really up to you guys to finish them. This is a non-judgmental place, but I promise you, I'm not going to engage in lightweight discussions. Okay? I'm just not going to do it. I'm not going to engage in lightweight discussions. If you want the drama that's out in social media right now, where people are using clickbait and, you know, people are, you know, I'm not that guy. What I'm going to do is challenge how you view yourself. I'm going to tell you, you want to show up in a relationship without looking at yourself? So you want to go into this relationship blind? You better go in trying to see how you're going to respond. You don't want to react, you want to respond. But the only way to do that, to keep yourself in check, is to observe how you show up. Not solely focused on what? How they show up and what they give you and what they provide. No, look at how you're going to show. You know, at the last relationship, I couldn't keep my cool. You know, at the last relationship, I couldn't hold my tongue. You know, at the last relationship, my communication was bad. You know, watch how, you know, at the last relationship, I was avoidant. You know, the last relationship, I ghosted. You get what I'm saying? You have to be aware of self. That's what relationship is. It's a school of self-awareness. Anyway, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'll see y'all next week with another slapper.
Look, once upon a time, and I heard that I was ugly.